Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Can we talk with Monique? I am Monique, and thank you so much for joining me today. Please do me a favor. Please like and subscribe so this channel can grow and this message can get out to people, and hit that little bell so that way you are notified of my next upload. So guys, this particular episode, I've been talking before the last couple episodes about soul ties, and I'm staying on this subject and I'm drilling it in because this is important in reference to us becoming free. This is a topic that I didn't know anything about. And I think if I went through that, I'm sure that other people may go through this and not understand how serious. I was never taught the seriousness of certain things and the importance of things and how they can affect you long term. So this is the transference of spirits in creating soul ties. So this thumbnail is just indicative of what I thought it was kind of indicative of what a soul tie would be. So I want to go to some scriptures. And I know you guys are like, oh, she's on that. Come on, computer. Act right. Here we go. Some scriptures that speak of verses, Bible verses about soul ties. And this is from the King James Version. So these are some scriptures that came about in my research and study and in my healing and my journey out of abusive relationships, narcissistic relationships, and really toxic relationships. I had these people all around me. But I also, let me just stop and say this. I also had to look at myself. Yes, guys, we have work to do. We have to look at ourselves. It's not just the narcissist. We have to look at ourselves because we play a part in this too, right? But what we don't know, we just don't know. And hey, Satan and those narcissists, they will capitalize on it. They don't care that you're ignorant. But I definitely was ignorant of some things. So I want to start in the word, because that's what everything should be based on in my life. That's what it needs to be based on. Those who are not believers, just stick with me because I still have a message for y'all. I love y'all too. How about that? All right, y'all. So Bible verses related to soul ties. Okay. So 1 Samuel 18:1, and it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. So we can see the relationship between Jonathan and David was very, very close, and that their souls were knit. And if anybody, I think I talked about this in another video, when you knit something, it's like you're intertwining and interweaving something almost. And in order to get that knitting out, you have some work to do. You have to pull it apart, right? Okay, so then the next scripture, 1 Corinthians 6:16, what? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot or a whore is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh. So in other words, it's saying, do you not know that one person that is joined with a harlot or has relations with a harlot or whore or prostitute becomes one flesh? So it's showing you that engaging with an individual, and that's this way is an intimate relationship, that you become one flesh. Okay, your souls get knitted. You become a part of that person. That person becomes a part of you. Okay, so let's talk about this one. Hebrews 4:12. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart. So when we're talking about joints and marrow, that's the innermost working of the bone. That's like the inside, and it takes a sword to divide it. It talks about the soul and the spirit being together. So those are really truly showing how there are ties within the soul. Let's talk about 1 Corinthians 6:18. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that commits fornication sins against his own body. So it's showing you here that in committing a sin of fornication, which is having sex with somebody out of marriage, you're sinning against your own body. That's sin. So there's a spiritual tie. There's a spiritual part to that, right? Okay. Let's go down here. Next one. Therefore a man, Genesis 2:24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh. So it's showing you that when marriage takes place and that marriage is consummated, the husband and wife become one flesh. The souls mesh. Yes, sir. Okay. Let's talk about this one, Genesis 34. This is about Dinah. Let's see if I can go back to it. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay down with her and defiled her. That was, he raped her. And his soul cleaved unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel and spoke kindly unto the damsel. So he had intercourse with her, he raped her, but his soul cleaved for this particular woman. Now, how do I get back, Lord? Let me see. Let me see if I can go back. Hold on, let me see if I can get back to the... Okay, yes, it took me back. Thank you, Lord. This is a scripture that I had to understand, and I think a lot of women and men need to understand this. 2 Corinthians 6:14. And this is not just talking about religiously as well, as far as your faith. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness and unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? So that we should not be unequally yoked. And I remember in my other video, I showed y'all the yokes and how they're like put on and then they're strapped on and there's a chain around it. So these are all showing you different scriptures that speak to soul ties, and scriptures that show you how soul ties are things that are not easily broken, and it's showing you certain scriptures how different individuals throughout the Bible, they had soul ties with people. Jonathan and David, that wasn't an unholy soul tie, they were friends, but the other ones are showing you fornication. The other one speaking of Dinah and Leah, and the other one's about a man. Well, the man leaving his wife and leaving his mother and becoming married. That's a good godly soul tie. But soul ties with people who you were unevenly yoked with. It could be friends. It could be a spouse even. That was my lesson I had to learn. But I'm going to talk about that, guys. I'm going to give y'all the rundown on escaping and divorcing a narcissist, but I'm still in prayer about it because I want to be very respectful, because that is the father of my children. But I want to also bring you the information so you can see what happened in my journey, my testimony, but also how those tactics of narcissists are still played out. So it's coming to you soon. I'm wrapping it up, and I had to pray and ponder over it. You don't just come and just say whatever. I think as I'm being molded and shaped and refined, because I'm still on a journey too, right along with you guys, I have to be mindful of what I say. This is a ministry, and this needs to be based on God's word. And that's why I'm showing you where narcissism and soul ties, where these things are based in the Bible, right? So there are ways we talked about people committing as far as soul ties are concerned. But let's see here. These are, let me see, what website am I on here, guys? Let me see. I don't know. I'm not really sure which website. But we're talking about things that can create soul ties, right? And the two that I want to speak about today, the practice of fornication. And I know this is not for children, and included in that oral sex, sodomy, masturbation. Those are things that I want to talk about in pornography. So let's go back to my history, a story that I had. So a lot of times we know that when you're with narcissists, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, they like to push past boundaries. And a relationship that I was in, and I wasn't into any type of pornography or anything like that. That wasn't my thing. I knew from my growing up that wasn't something that we should get into. But this particular person at the time that I was seeing was into pornography. And he would bring his computer, or no, would come over in my house. I had my laptop, and I remember him going to these websites. I wasn't into that, and he would want to show me things. And one day he called me something, and he was like, "Oh no, that's a porn star or something like that." And I'm like, "Huh? I don't know these people. I don't know who they are." But they push past those boundaries, and pornography is a way that these spirits can be transferred. And remember, I talked before about soul ties. There's a spirit, right? And so those spirits can be transferred. So when you are with that scripture that I read where you become one with the harlot, when you have intercourse or have sexual relations with whomever it is, ladies and gentlemen, you become those spirits that they have transferred to you. How about that? And vice versa. So if this person has been involved in all type of debauchery, or you too for that matter, but if this narcissist is involved with all type of debauchery, they could be involved with all type of acts that you don't know nothing about, may have frequented prostitutes, all type of foolishness, those spirits transfer to you. And that's one of the ways that we ended up getting in bondage. And that's one of the reasons why, guys, that our parents always tell us to try to stay pure, not to have sex before marriage. They never really gave us we knew that it was against God's rules and his regulation, his commandments, but the whys as to what happens when you do that, besides just becoming pregnant, right? There were other reasons why that we were never explained. And so this is one of the main reasons why. So if you look at this picture, I thought it was really fitting. This is a lot of us. This is the light, the God's word, the light, and that's the darkness, and that's the narcissist on the side. They're pulling you. But this is what we need to remember from Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And so they don't want us to come to this accurate knowledge of the word right here. You see that light emanating off of there, because it says the word is like a light to your pathway. You know what I mean? And so you see that pathway there, and you see the light. But here on this side is darkness. And it's a lot of us are coming out of these relationships, out of that darkness. And we are seeing the light, not only through the word, but also from these videos that are educating us and bringing us more knowledge and educating us about this. But the issue is why we are so bound, because there's been a transference of spirits. We're not wrestling with the person. We're wrestling against the spirit behind the narcissism. And I've given you those scriptures that show you how, when we engage in certain acts, that we do create soul ties. Now, one of the things that I just want to say, and I don't want to be funny, and I know it's not, this is really serious, guys. You know, they always talk about safe sex and not getting a sexually transmitted disease when you're fornicating, really, because that's what safe sex is. Typically, it's trying to be safe when you're in a relationship. Safe sex, in that sense, is typically geared toward people who are not married, because typically in marriage situations, in bonds and unions, it's not so much as safe. You know, it's about planning. You know, sometimes when you're going to have a child, but safe sex is typically toward people who are committing fornication. Let's keep it 100% real, right? And so this brought this whole thumbnail right here. Condoms will not protect you from spiritually transmitted demons. So not only should our parents and our grandmothers and grandfathers told us that yes, you can get pregnant, and yes, be embarrassed and have a baby out of wedlock, but they should have been telling us, which they knew, that having sex with somebody can transfer spiritually transmitted demons when you have sex. So instead of an STD, it's still an STD. You're going to get a spiritually transmitted demon. And I thought that was very fitting. And so sometimes we need to be cut, guys. Cut in a sense, the word needs to be sharp. It needs to really, pierce our hearts and really be a word that moves us. We can't, some of us has been in some really tough relationships, really tough childhoods, and some of us really need a tough word to say, look, We don't need that. Well, you need to stop. No, dude, you gonna get you a STD. Especially with the narcissist, they gonna give you a literal STD, because you know that a lot of them are promiscuous, and y'all can go back to my video. I'll link it up below, that a narcissist will give you a STD, and then you're gonna get a spiritually transmitted demon. Lord have mercy. So you're gonna get an STD times 2. Okay, you're gonna be bound both ways. And so these are some of the things that we need to understand. This is not a joke. This is why some of us can't get free. This is why some of us don't even understand what's going on in our lives, because we have, some of us have been oppressed by some of these spirits, and they just kind of take over our whole personality. And look at this picture here, to where we don't even know who we are, because all of these spirits, if it's a spirit of lust, if it's a spirit of gambling, if it's a spirit of cussing, if it's a spirit of anger, if it's a spirit, all of these spirits have a name. There's lots of different spirits. And so what my point I'm trying to make is, there's a transference. There could be a good transference. I forget that scripture that talks about, being around people spoils useful habits, so it's who your bad association spoils useful habits. So there, whatever, eventually we could say, oh no, I'm strong enough, and I'm tough, and nothing that they do is gonna rub off on me. No, if you're around a liar, a thief for a good long bit of time, and y'all are intermingling, you're gonna start lying, thieving, cussing, and doing all the stuff that they do. So just as in the physical things they do, the spiritual stuff, if they are angry all the time, a lot of times when we have been in these relationships with narcissists, their behavior, rubs off on us. Sometimes we become anxious because they are anxious. A lot of times they feel they have a low sense of self-worth. And some of us have suffered with low self-esteem, but then when you get around them, it's like you feel even worse. So you lose your sense of identity. And that the spirits of rejection, spirits of resentment, a lot of narcissists have, they transfer that to you. So there definitely is a transference of spirits and that helps create the soul tie. And like I said, all we were taught, I know all I was taught was, you don't want to have sex before marriage. God don't like that, and you could get pregnant. But nobody said that these demons and these spirits can transfer to you and cause you to be in bondage and bound up, and tied up, and laying on the train tracks, tied up, so to speak, and you just can't get free. And some people have gotten away from the narcissist, and they still feel bound up, again, because they're spiritually tied to those persons, because those transference of spirits have been taken place. Now, if you are living a good life and you are dealing with a narcissist, and this person has a lot of negative spirits, but you have a good spirit of a good personality, because when we start out, those spirits get transferred. They suck our life force from us to the point where we don't even, like I said, know who we are sometimes. So it goes back and forth. They take you take some of their negative spirit that they have, that transference. But if you have good qualities, they don't like the good qualities, so they just kind of suck that out of you. So there's a transference that goes back and forth. Right, guys? And we need to understand that. We haven't been taught that. A lot of people don't understand it. They just think, well, I'm not with them no more, so, I'm moving on. No, you have transferred, not only, if you're having intimate relations with them, you mix DNA. There have been studies that shown, and that's why women, I'm going to do one about women and what we need to do as women, the next one. But, there have been studies that men and women, when they engage in their sexual activity or intercourse, that men, when they, and this is not for children, when they do ejaculate, that the semen gets as deep, the DNA from that man gets into as deep as your bone. So do you see how a transference takes place? You're taking a part of this man with you wherever you go. And it's only through the grace of God and his Holy Spirit to be able to cover you and to get you unfragmented, defragment you like the computer defragments, get you back whole, and to cover you with the blood, so that way you're not walking around with these personalities and different things in you from the persons that you've had intercourse with. Yes, ladies, the semen, the DNA, they will find that man's DNA in your bone. That is why we're supposed to be with one person. That is why marriage is to be with one person and one person only. It wasn't to be the sexual act of having relations with a man or women, was not to be with multiple partners, because now you're fragmented. You have transferred all, and a lot of people don't tell you what they do. Everybody ain't honest gonna tell you, like, well, how many partners have you had? That, well, dang, if they can't remember, and they're like, that's a cue that you need to go in the other direction, because if they counting on two hands and going to their feet and gotta get a little abacus where you got the counting beads, that's your cue right there. That's the red flag. You need to go, because all of them spirits, I don't care who it is, these people will transfer those things to you. They are not stable. They're not stable in their ways, a narcissist. So that's what I wanted to talk about, the transference of spirits. Let me see if I can find, okay, so we're talking here, the practice of fornication, oral sex. Now, a lot of people don't think oral sex has anything to do with nothing, and that's the new thing with this younger generation, and not even the younger one, the oldest one. Oh man, he got to go downstairs. That is, you are transferring spirits as well. That way, even if there's no penetration, they're transferring spirits. And more than likely, if they're putting their mouth on you, they're putting their mouth on somebody else, and that is that person's private part. What spirits are they transferring to you? I'm just saying. You see what I'm saying? There's different spirits, guys. Okay? And then there's sodomy, and then there's masturbation. And all of these things, spirits can be transferred. There's a spirit of masturbation. There's a spirit of sodomy. They have names, guys. And some of these names, you can look in the Bible, and I'll go over that one day, but there are specific spirits that have particular names. And that's how Jesus, remember the time when Jesus went to, I think he was trying to cast out a demon. He says, what is your name? Because they have names. Okay, they literally have names. And you respond, most people, we respond to our names better. So that is probably one of the reasons why Jesus, a lot of people who are in deliverance ministries, they will call on the name of the spirit, because that spirit will respond to it to come out. Being unequally yoked with an unbeliever, or just being unequally yoked, y'all, just look, whether they're a believer or not, I believe truly that a lot of us, and I know in my personal belief, in my personal situation, oh Lord, now this is crazy. Look at this. I went and got this. This is when you see a sexy, fun, and beautiful, don't be unevenly yoked. This is definitely being unevenly yoked. This is from The Walking Dead. Lord have mercy. I didn't know that was going to come. I'm sorry, y'all. But this came up. It says, when you seek a sexy, fun, and beautiful partner, but fail to see the heart, this is your Kodak moment from the supernatural biological compatibility without spiritual unity will bring heartache. Look, this picture looks kind of scary, but guys, this is what happens when we're unequally yoked. That ain't no lie. Lord have mercy. This picture is disgusting, but it shows you when you're seeking something other than the spiritual aspect of a person. You're seeking the sexy, the fun, the fine. He can pay my bills, but you fail to see their hearts. Fail to see who these people really are. And guess what? They don't want you to see they rotten inside like one of these zombies. They don't want you to see that. And this is a good one, guys, because pretty much they are like Walking Dead zombies. They have no, life really of their own. But we fail to see the heart. This is your Kodak moment right here. Go back to this video. Look at this picture. And I got this from, I got to give props to the website. This is, I don't know what website I'm on. Jesus Truth Deliverance, resources for dealing with demonic issues and exposing Satan's deceptions. So definitely, I want to read this again. Look, I think this picture is dope. I mean, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and this one speaks to it all. This is being unevenly yoked. So this is the narcissist, right here, and this person. This is the narcissist, but this is you. This is us. And we smile and we think we with somebody, and this person ain't got no heart, they ain't got no empathy. They just a zombie. Okay? But we fail to see the heart. This is your Kodak moment from the supernatural, from the Most High. This is the type of picture that he's trying to tell us in the Bible, that we shouldn't be unevenly yoked. But this is a picture showing you it. That biological compatibility, just because you're compatible and y'all can go and play golf and, go do things together without a spiritual unity, it will bring you heartache, y'all. It will bring you heartache. And I was unevenly yoked, not only in a spiritual sense, but in all other aspects. And that can happen. It's not to say it can't, but it had something to do with me. I didn't know what my self-worth was. I had very, very low self-esteem, right? And I would allow things. And that's what happens with narcissists. They they hone in on those areas of vulnerability, those areas where you might have some issues as it relates to self-worth, how you feel about yourself, if you feel good, if you don't feel good, they hone in on that. And if they go, oh, she has a vulnerability and then they know they get you hooked on you, and then they start in and want to get in bed real quick because they want to create that transference, you see. These people are really smart, and they want to create that soul tie very quickly. So I love this picture. I'm going to have to copy this, y'all. Because I've never seen one like this. Oh, my gosh. When you seek a sexy, fun, and beautiful partner but fail to see the heart, this is your Kodak moment from the supernatural. Biological compatibility without spiritual unity will bring heartache. Lord, look at that ain't saying nothing but the truth. So this is a really good picture. And this is what being in a relationship with a narcissist is like. This just kind of sums it up. There's nothing more to say. It's like you drop the mic right now, you be like, bam, yes, yeah. And so I'm going to leave the link down below. This, like I said, is a pastor on YouTube. He's no longer with her. He is deceased, but his wife, Missy, still runs the ministry, Destined Ministries, Pasteur Stephen Darby. And there's a link below that I put on one of his sermons he did about narcissism. And one of his sayings, you'll hear me say this a lot, but this comes from him when he was saying a word and he was just being really forceful about it. In love, though, just kind of stern, so that the word could kind of cut you, so that way it cut you in a sense that it made you want to make a change, made you, convicted you, that type of thing. And he would be like, yeah, I said it. And so you'll hear me say that sometime, yeah, I said it. That was his line, or another line he would say, yeah, you're there? Are you there? Are you there? So, this is a journey for all of us, guys, but my goal is to show you visuals, to talk about my story, to show you the behind the scenes of what really has happened to us. And a lot of us are caught in deer headlights. We get out of these relationships and we don't know what to do. And then a lot of people are out there dating, and I'm like, Lord, you might need to stay single for about a year, 2 or 3, especially when you've been in a relationship with a narcissist. No job, no joking. You might want to stay single. Like, there's something wrong with it. And society tells you keep watching these TV shows, keep telling us that, oh, you got to be with somebody. No, you can be by yourself. Sit down, sit still, and keep your legs closed. Yeah, I said it. That's the type of message that Pastor Darby would say. And I'm saying that out of love, but that same message goes to me too, right? As a woman. Yeah, I said it. And that's the type of thing that he would say. One of his episodes, he said something about sit down with your Christian boring life, and just be still, something to that effect, enjoy your Christian boring life. And yes, there doesn't need to be a whole bunch of excitement. But if your foundation has been laid, we straighten it up. We need to get in order, guys. That's another thing. A lot of us is just out of order. We out of order in every way, in our lives, in our finances. We out of order when it comes to our hair, our appearance. We just out of order. God's people are in order. They're in order in their appearance. We are set apart. We're in order. We got to get it together. And I'm trying to get it together like I'm trying to help y'all get it together. We need to get it together. Get out of order. God is not a God of confusion. He's a God of order, peace, calm. And so, yeah, child, we don't want to be unevenly yoked. This picture, man, this picture says it all, y'all. But yes, transference of spirits. Let's go back to the pictures. There's a transference of spirits, people. That's how the soul ties get created. I just wanted to give you guys visuals of how that looks. How does the soul tie get created? You get knit with their soul, and then you also get a transference of those other spirits. So then you can get double bound. You could get double, triple, and quadruple bound. To be serious, I'm serious. We can be bound in many different ways in relationships. Okay, let me show you how right quick. So you could be born to a narcissist, family members, have a narcissistic mother or father. Then have narcissistic brothers and sisters. Then have narcissistic people on your job. This is what's going to happen. Then get in a relationship with a narcissist. Child, you are bound all so many different ways. And if you are in relationship with them, those spirits get transferred to you. So that's why we have to, this is a fight. This is a spiritual war. It's a spiritual war. And one of the ways I said in my last video, cleaning house after the narcissist, just don't be having sex with nobody. Get rid of the stuff they gave you. There's ways you got to clear the physical stuff out. And I'm going to do some videos and show some prayers that I've done to, help bind some of these spirits and so to get rid of them. This is a spiritual side of it. The cleaning house video was about getting rid of stuff physically out of your home, because things that they've given you have a spiritual thing behind it too, just like charms. Charms are things that individuals, they will do certain rituals. I'm not really sure, but it's an object that has a spiritual backing to it. So if somebody gives you a charm or curse something, it becomes a charm. It has that spiritual, how could I put it? I don't like to say energy because I don't like people thinking I'm into this new age, but it has a spirit behind it that can affect you too. So that's why we want to get rid of the physical objects. But yeah, y'all, that picture right there, I got to download that one. But this one right here, how condoms will not protect you from a spiritually transmitted demon. And this sums it up. This is how I'm going to end this. This is the drop the mic one on this one too. Because we have been told, excuse me guys and ladies, we have been told that don't have sex before marriage is a sin. Yes. But the Bible also says the wages of sin is death. But wait. So if we have sex, we're going to die? Well, if we get certain sexually transmitted diseases, if we get involved with somebody who we don't need to be involved with, who might be violent, yeah, death can be when your cup of iniquity gets full. Yes, definitely. So that's why young people think, I'm going to shack up. No, that is not what you do. You do not go. It says flee from fornication. That sin is against your own temple. But condoms, you can go and try to have safe sex. It don't protect you from STD. It protects you possibly from those other ones, but it don't protect you from the sexually transmitted demon. And that's what we need to understand. They're sexually transmitted demons, guys. So I'm hoping that this helps you, that you're seeing these visuals, that me telling my story. Did I tell a story about? Oh, yeah. Well, I did tell you a story about how he was into the pornography, and he would always want to come to my house and put on this pornography, and I wasn't into that, but just wanting to cross the boundaries. But then those spirits of lust and those pornographic spirits, obviously they had to get transferred to me. I had to cast and bind them down. Yes, I sure had to, because that's what happens. You get involved with people, and that association you have with them, it contaminates and defiles you. So just like, think of it this way. I saw a picture of some strawberries that had the fuzzy fungus on them. And then in that same batch, just think of this, visualize this. In that same batch is some good strawberries that haven't gotten a little fuzzy fungus on them yet. But if you leave that strawberry in there with the rest of the fuzzies and the rest of the fungus that's on there, it's going to spread. And that's the same with being involved with these individuals who are narcissists. They transfer some of their negative stuff. And we have some fleas. When we get away from them, we have to check ourselves. We really have to do a whole thorough, Lord, get on the floor, cry, sniffle, snot, plead blood, confess, confess some more. I mean, it's a process, y'all. Trying to get free, but it's a beautiful thing when you do get free, when you're able to stand up and say, Lord, oh my gosh, thank you so much for rescuing me and me getting out of this situation. Now I'm on the road to my purpose. My health is better. I'm able to laugh. I have a life, I look better. My hair's growing back, all of those different things. That's why I'm doing this, because to let you know, it is a battle. There's a struggle sometimes, but it can be done. So with that being said, please, guys, just understand the work that has to be done. Be kind to yourself. Don't knock and beat yourself up, because the journey, being involved with these people are deceivers. They're deceptive people. If you were like I was some years back, the dude skipping around like Little Red Riding Hood, thinking that everybody's love. People don't do that. They don't hurt each other. We got, you gotta love people. Man, was I naive. Oh my OMG. Oh my goodness. I was just totally naive and not really understanding that there's some wicked, evil son of a guns out here. And so the experience of going through that has made me the wiser, stronger, and it helped me to understand even better. But boy, was I naive. And these individuals, they play on that naivety. They play on the fact that you don't know. They play on those people who have that caring, empathetic behavior. Oh, I was naive, child. Y'all don't understand. This sister girlfriend was naive. I was like, people don't do that. Oh, yes, the heck they do. These people, some of these folks are so wicked. They have their consciences seared, honey. So they could care less if you get run over by a Mack truck. They're going to walk the other way, go through your pockets and see if you got anything. And if not, kick you and go on in their house, have a meal and not even think twice and not even call 911. This is the type of people you're dealing with. Seriously. And so we need to understand that. That's why we need to, when we come out of these relationships, you need time. You got to understand who you are, why. We got to get to the why, get to the root of things. We can't just get to the surface level. We got to get to the root of it. And I'm showing you the root of the reason why a lot of us can't get free, because we done got the soul tied, and then we got transference of spirits. Even after we out of relationship, we still got the spirits in us that they done transfer to us. We still bound to them in the spiritual realm. So anyway, guys, I hope you understand what I was saying. I hope I'm not rambling on, because this girl could talk over here. But anyway, I hope that this is informative. I hope that it really, truly does help you. We're going into a new year. We need to get free. We need to get unbound. The Most High is coming back. Oh my goodness. We need to be ready, and we need to kick these people to the curb, y'all, for real. If you can, get them out of your life. The best thing you can do is get them out of your life, and even if you just have pure silence in your spirit, pure peace in your house, and nothing's going on, that is a good thing. Some people like the narcissists, they gotta constantly be looking for something and trying to find some more supply. They have no peace. They're tormented individuals. Those demons are tormenting them, unfortunately. Yeah, I said it. All right, y'all. So like, subscribe, and share. And I'll put that link down below of Pasteur Stephen Darby of Destined Ministries. One of the things I want to say is, guys, there's so many YouTubers, so many people talking about narcissistic abuse. You will find your tribe as you get smarter, as you get stronger. You will probably not have as many people that you watch, because you'll realize what you need at that time. You also realize that some of these people are not genuine and they're not giving you good advice. You also realize the people who are scamming and flim-flamming. You also realize the people who are truly narcissists themselves, but they're up here claiming like they're victims of narcissism, which is ridiculously crazy, but this is what's happening. Find your tribe, but don't just subscribe to any old body. I just don't do that. You know, I learned, it took me about a year, and I wheedled down to probably 3 or 4 people I watch, literally. And not to say that these other, you know, content creators are not there, but there was some stuff that threw me for a loop. There was some lady, I don't even want to talk about it because there's so much censorship going on, but I think she was on a narcissistic, her channel was about narcissistic abuse, and then next thing you know, she was getting married to another woman. And I was like, wait a minute, where'd that come from? You know, I mean, that's her business. But my thing is, for me, I'm not going to open up my eye gates to everything, my ear gates to everything. I'm just not. Because you can get a transference of spirits that way too. What you watch, what you listen to, what you hear, what you see, what you allow your mind, I just can't. And I remember one YouTuber, I don't know if I still have that information, she was going off because she didn't get that many likes. But yet she was like, I do these videos and, you know, and I'm not getting the likes that I'm supposed to get. And I'm like, if I get one person to watch, I'm fine. If I get one thumbs up, I'm okay with that, because this word is for somebody who was in my situation, similar, to help someone. It's not about the likes. It's okay to get that. But she was literally doing a rant and talking about, I may not upload no more because y'all ain't giving me the. I was like, what kind of? You could see through these people. You're not there to help somebody. This is not about likes, guys. But a lot of times we ask you to give us a thumbs up just because it kind of pushes you in the algorithm and it lets it get out to more people. But I'm not gonna rant and rave and throw a tantrum and roll around and suck my thumb on the floor and, you know, throw out obscenities to people because you didn't give me a like. Come on, give me a break. I mean, that's just craziness. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna see y'all on the next upload. And the other next uploads, I'll be talking about the divorce. I'll be talking about different things you can do to get free from these spirits. And I'll be talking about a bunch of stuff, but the juicy stuff is really divorce. And when I say juicy, you know, people like to hear other people's business. Let's just face it. This is what people have become whores these days. They want to hear the juiciness, and I guess that's why all of these gossip bloggers, they do so well. But my story is a testimony. It's the information. It's true. But I just want to give it in a respectful way. But I mean, look, it is what it is. You can only tell something but so respectful. But I also want to make sure that, you know, I hold myself accountable for what part I played in that situation too. But heck, I didn't know they was a narcissist. I didn't know what narcissism was. And that's a lot of us. We have no clue what this is. We just think the person, we end up we don't know what it is. And then we realize, wait a minute, this is what I've been going through. Because don't nobody talk about it. The churches ain't talking about it. The religious organizations ain't talking about it, because a lot of them leaders are narcissists themselves. How about that? But anyway, guys, I will see you guys on the next upload. Can we talk with Monique? I will see you on the next upload. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to y'all soon. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Peace.